Adong. I am the president of the Democratic Party Women's League, and I'm also the candidate or the still the flag bearer of the Democratic Party. In the last parliament, I contested on the Democratic Party ticket in Zombo district to represent the women and the people of Zombo in the parliament of Uganda. Our victory was postponed, especially me and her. We believe that tomorrow will be better. Ladies and gentlemen, as we converge here today, we have converged here for 3 or 4 reasons. And starting first is we want to congratulate the Democratic Party women for taking part in the just concluded national elections. We were able to field candidates across the districts in Uganda, both at parliamentary level and the local government level. Yes, however, as you can see by you yourselves, the members of the 4th Estate, you've covered stories around the country. We did not achieve the target that we wanted, because our biggest target was, this time around at least, to get at least 5 women in the Parliament of Uganda. But that was not possible because of various factors. And I would love to re-echo what we discussed last week here at the press conference when the President General was addressing the weekly press conference. The fight that took place between the NRM, our partners, together with the Uganda People's Congress, UPC, affected that so highly because we were not able to get our funds from IPOD. And these funds were meant to facilitate the process of our elections, to fund our candidates. And as you know very well in Uganda, politics has been highly and highly commercialized, to the extent that there are candidates that I know in this country who spent more than 600 million shillings, to run for a parliamentary seat. I'm first talking about parliamentary, then I'll tackle the local government. So now, imagine you have a woman like Sarah, you have a woman like Nakauki, who is running in a constituency, and she needs more than all those millions of shillings. And then because of the ping-pong politics between NRM and UPC, we were not able to get the funds. So what affected the men is the same thing that affected us women. I don't want people to judge our female candidates that they did not participate well. They actually participated very well. Our mayoral candidate was in the top 3. Sarah, speaking here, I was also in the top 3. In fact, for me in Zombo district, even the NRM candidate lost. I hope you know that. Honorable Foyochan, who is a commissioner, she lost. So it was also beyond. Number 2, women face a lot of challenges beyond just money. Beyond just money. The militarization of politics has made it so hard for women candidates to break it through. And this is something that we cannot sit down and just watch. It's something that we need to address, I know of districts in Uganda, including Central Region, where military has taken over. They are the ones who choose who goes through, who doesn't go through. Now, it becomes very hard, because if you are playing a match against a team that has a referee, and the referee has a red card, he has a yellow card, he has everything to their control. Now you are just mere footballer who only has your boots and your stockings and your jersey to go and play. Would you win such a match? Definitely not certain. You cannot win it. So we were the underdogs. But I want to congratulate these women. I want to thank them wherever they are across the country. Gentlemen and ladies, not until you have participated in an election in Uganda, especially the 2021 general election was a bad one. Was a sham. That was what I can say. 2026, I beg your pardon. Thank you, Madam President. It was a sham. So many women, we have left out many quality leaders who are not able to go through. If you look at in Kampala here, would you compare all those mayoral candidates with the Beatrice Mao? Certainly not. People are no longer looking for manifesto, because we have made politics we have polarized politics so much. Number 2, the women also suffer what we call the gender stereotype and cultural norms. Until today, there are people who believe that for you to go through as a member of parliament, men must decide. The businessmen have a stake it has become more of a fixed game. If you're going for you who understand football, Arsenal and Manchester United, I support Arsenal and Sports Club Villa in Uganda. Some people fix matches. And how are they fixing these matches of politics? The businessmen and these business women of this country who call themselves tycoons in the various districts in the country have ganged up together. Now, when they gang up together, you find that a leader, a candidate who has the quality, cannot make it through. So the 2026 general elections was very terrible. It hit us so badly, and we shall have to sit down and re-strategize and think, because that parliament of Uganda is missing a touch of a quality female legislature. And I mean my words, a touch of a quality female legislature. Today, if you look at most of the women in that parliament of Uganda, people just go just for just. Because so and so, let me go. But when it comes to critical issues, mothers are dying, roads are so bad. Look at Kampala here. Really, people, is this a city? I was at the African Union last year representing the country at a big forum. And people were telling stories of their countries and their cities. I'm like, oh my God, I don't even want to talk about Kampala. And someone was asking me first, show me a video of Kampala. I said, I don't have it. They stole my phone. Mommy, I had to lie. Surely, because of an embarrassment. You know, I put on this flag. So every time I go out, I am an ambassador of Uganda. But that day, I could not sell Uganda. But because you have legislators who sit in parliament, they don't speak. The men, it's about deals. So we thought that this time round, the women of the Democratic would give us the better alternative. But the men themselves, who are either gangsters or mafias, have ruined for us politics. So no one ever wants now to attend to politics of issues. I sat in Izumbo one time and I was listening to Beatrice speaking. I'm like, wow. Someone was listening to my speech. I'm like, yes. But what did not happen? We were denied the chance to represent our people in the Parliament of Uganda, but we are not giving up. The fight is not yet over. We shall fight until we achieve that goal. Now, when you come to the local government, oh my goodness, if you go to the local councils in Uganda today and you attend one of their sessions, you actually now tell why a district like Kasese, River Nyamwamba, the victims of River Nyamwamba, 6 years down the road up to now, they have not been resettled well. Their children are not going to school. The girls are giving birth at home in those IDP camps. And I remember very well, I was watching news today on NBS TV, the Morning Breeze. And a journalist made it very clear. There's a woman they brought and she spoke. Honorable Chris Baryomonsi went there and made a pledge on behalf of President Yoweri Museveni that those people are going to be settled and they are going to construct for them a school. Up to now, there's no school there. There are over 4,000 people staying there. Young girls are giving birth at home. Why? Because we do not have quality legislatures in the council or councillors in the council, the local government. Yes, we got some party results left, right, center. But I think we now need to sit down and have a way forward. And we are going to do that because we honestly need quality. Another issue we need to talk about is the rebuilding processes of our party. And here we are talking about the party structures. And when we talk about the party structures, I want to draw it closer to the department that I lead, the Women League. Gentlemen and ladies, I want first of all to applaud you, the media houses who have made it possible to come here today. Quite often, we address the nation, but when it is the Women League and the Youth League addressing the nation, you find that so many members of the Fourth Estate do not give it so much attention. Now, I want to tell you the irony of politics. Without the Youth League and the Women League, there's no political party. That one you must understand very well. There is no political party completely. And I call upon you outside there to give these women strength. You should actually thank these women for the fact that with the politics that has gone so sour in this country, but they're still able to participate in their political parties and more so Democratic Party. So we are saying we want to go back and rebuild the structures. And this is something that we discuss in the management. And how are we going to do that? We are going to do that through one, we need to start identifying our candidates early enough, and start equipping them, because this is now election cycle. It has to continue. It's a conveyor belt system. Number two, we need to equip our leaders at the grassroots. Many of our candidates face the challenges with our party leaders. There are some party leaders who are aga-naga. Today, the leg is like this, the other one, the leg is like that. He's with the noob, but he says he's a Democrat. And then you have a candidate mayor here in Kampala, and some of them abandoned the candidate. Same thing happened to me in Zombo. My chairperson abandoned me and was supporting the NRM candidate. But this is a person who says he's the chairperson of the Democratic Party in the district branches. So we sat in management last week and we said, no, we need to do a rebuild-up system and see that we cannot have red and yellow be together. We cannot have blue and black together. You choose. You either support Democratic Party with its policies and with its decision that the leaders have taken, or you move and go. We shall rebuild. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, when I had a story of Mami Beatrice here, and then my own story, and many other stories out there, she's also here, our governor from Buyikwe district. You're most welcome. She faced the same challenge in Buyikwe. When Honorable, the one of Buyikwe, Lulume left. Some of the people decided to go with him, but some of them decided to remain, but they were still the other side, and they're also this other side. So it also affected our candidates so highly. So that's when we chose and started management with how we sit on management as heads of department. We decided we are going to have a rebuild-up system, and the party has accepted, but first thing first, NEC is going to sit. NEC is going to sit next month, and in that NEC, of course, a strategic plan is going to be presented there, and this strategic plan is majorly looking at the areas of rebuilding the UID and the Women's League, because those are the cores of a political party like the Democratic Party. So when we're talking about rebuilding our league structures and the party at large, it means now we are going to present a strategic plan that will run from 2026 to 2031. And I talk about issues as such as where branches who are not loyal to the party, we would rather recall them off and have fresh elections. Gentlemen, we cannot pretend that things are okay when things are not okay, because we are only strong when we have numbers on ground. So unless you have people who are loyal, then you cannot move forward completely. And I also want to remind you again, in the same manner, as we go on to rebuild the party, we are going to have our regional conferences for the Youth League and the Women League, because we have to move simultaneously. We are semi-autonomous. And in that matter, because there are positions that we need to fill, which is still vacant on National Executive Committee also. But those positions can only be filled very well after we've done the regional conferences. We have identified those women. We have to train them. The women must know how the Democratic Party operates. They must know the principle of the Democratic Party, how we've been moving. We must also know your level of loyalty and sacrifice for this party. Just imagine Sarah in Izombo, she didn't have money, and the party did not have money. But there is no single day that I abandoned my constituency and I came here. If it is a lie, you will ask them. They will attest to that. I used to operate with a party with the colleagues, but I was in Zombo all through for 6 months. I never came back to Kampala. No. That is the sacrifice you're talking about. So if you're a member out there and you cannot sacrifice, you cannot die a little, then it's better you pack off and maybe look for somewhere else. Otherwise, NODP Impia. Stock Impia. It's a new stock. We are not going to entertain jokers. There is no joking in politics. If we must make our country better, then we need to move forward. I think that's I want to make it very clear. So the party has agreed we are going to have regional conferences so that we also make the Women League and the Youth League real semi-autonomous and have their own structures where, and then after that, maybe next year we shall now have a mega Women's League conference, and maybe also perhaps the Youth League after they have adopted their chapter also, because their chapter was not yet passed very well. So then after that, we can now have the National Congress for the Women League or the conference. And then we become business as usual, business has to move on. We talked about the gender gap. We still have a gap to fill. When we went to Mbarara, of course, in Gulu, we pass out a party policy, and in the policy and the charter, it shows that we must have 30% of women seated on NEC, 30%. But we did not meet because some women contested and lost. But the same constitution also gives us space to co-opt to bring more women. So we are going to add to fill up the gap of 30%. So far right now we have only 26% of women seated on NEC. You see, Democratic Party is about legal issues. So you don't want tomorrow to hear someone taking us to court that, Madam President, we are suing you and the party because you failed to fulfill the constitutional mandate. So we are going to do that. But that is also after identifying those. One of the issues, you must be a loyal member. We must know you. You must be in good checks with us. We must go to the constituents and find out, what are you doing? These things of coming to stay here in Kampala and then you're lingering all around and coming here at the party headquarters, that alone will not qualify you to become a NEC member. We want people who are serious because we want to take this party forward. So after that has been that, and then definitely we are going to present it to NEC, and NEC is going to adopt those names, and then automatically co-opt them as National Executive Committee members, and as of course National Council will also sit later. We present them, and then we do it like that. So that is something that I felt we should discuss. But ladies and gentlemen, we need to talk about the issues of polarization of politics in this country. Yesterday, I was glad to be invited by Honorable Winnie Kiza and a group of we're around 6 women leaders, and she was very intentional in her selection. She selected a group of women leaders, but whose political parties are a little bit active and their leagues are active. And I'm happy that the DP was really highly recognized. So on the issues we discuss about the better politics. Now the better politics mean that you must first of all have people who can speak. And we live about politics of Wolokosogundi Yakoze, you know. I tell you know the truth, you go and sit and eat with someone and then you come out and abuse the person. That kind of politics we want to change it in this country. And that's where our parliament is going wrong. You understand? And that's where our local council is also going wrong. So as the women of this country, of the Democratic Party, we are going to spearhead that. There are a lot of issues. 2, schools are going, today, schools have opened. The term has opened. But I can assure you that almost 40 or to 50% of parents have not taken their children back to school. Men, I have given up on their responsibilities completely. In fact, it has reached a point where women right now think that you should just go to a hospital and they donate for you sperms, and you don't have men. Yeah, some men have just become sperm donors. They have let go their responsibilities completely. And yet also, the government is not bothered at all. The quality of education has gone down. Education has become a commercial tool for tycoons in Uganda. Education has become a venture of business for tycoons in this country. So they don't even care whether somebody's daughter has gone to school or she has not gone to school. And in the other case, the people who are at the suffering end are the women. So the men have also given up on their responsibilities. The women have become breadwinners. I'm asking men, what is wrong with you? What happened? Me growing up, I used to know that every day, wake up every day, dad has to give money, dad has to pay school fees. But now today, like as if you're doing a service, you're favoring a woman to pay school fees on your own child. So that's why today when you meet women, when you say, me, I'm just going to get a surrogate or maybe just get someone to donate for me. So why have men become sperm donors? Because even the government itself is not bothered. How can tycoons determine what education should be in this country? I was watching news still today. A school in Ntungamo district, where the first lady comes from, the Minister of Education herself. A government school for that matter. Very ramshackled. Very bad. I speak so bitterly because my mother was a teacher. I know what it feels to be a child of an educationist. These children, some of them When the teachers were talked to, the teachers are like, parents have not sent their children to school because they cannot afford requirements. Some schools are now even charging between 70 to 80,000 shillings. Do you know, for a village school in Nakaseke, in Ntongamo, in Zombo, that's too much money. The tycoons have taken over. Where is the Minister of Education? I mean, it's the men giving up on their role. What are you doing as a Minister of Education? Can't we solve this matter, people? And this is why we said, for us as a Women League, we are going to talk where people are fearing to talk. After all, when you talk, you die. When you don't talk, you die. So it is better you talk. And I die when I have talked and told the truth. Our motto is truth and justice. And for the women, it is for women and truth and justice. So here we are. Thank you so much.